So we are just getting ready to get started out here in St. George, Utah for the big light show. There's going to be a whole bunch more Cybertrucks, but for right now, there's just a handful. And there's somebody here who's pretty excited about it. The question I have is, now that you've driven the Cybertruck, now that you have firsthand experience with it, now that you've lived the dream, Will from Tesla Jigsaw, do you think they're going to be coming to the US? I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. A quick thank you to today's sponsor, Jowua, who made this video possible. They provide an amazing array of third-party accessories for your Tesla. I have a bunch, I use them all, and every one of them that I've ever gotten is still in use in my car. That's true of all the accessories I've ever gotten because I'm very selective about it. Although it's coming into autumn, so I may be taking down the sunshade in the roof glass soon. Get 5% off with coupon code AZA, AZA, or AZA5. I mean, who knows? Probably both. Yeah, check them out. They've got some pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, Will, you got in yesterday?
I don't know what day it is. 2 days ago. So we picked the Cybertruck up just this morning. So we've had the full-on experience of a Cybertruck for the first time. Myself and a couple of friends have come with. I've driven it, but then we had the entire different layer of remembering it also has full self-driving FSD 12.5.5. Good grief, just I could not. We were just in shock, all of us. I was actually speechless because it was so ridiculously smooth, capable, and confident. And I've seen videos of it, but trying it for yourself, it's just on another level.
That's the thing. Well, we're going to do a whole video about the FSD part of it. We're going to focus on Cybertruck today. But my gosh, some of the people who have the strongest opinions about FSD are the people who have no experience at all. So you've driven the Cybertruck. What do you think?
It was just superb. Just the quality of the ride, the handling, performance. It's not the beast mode. We only found out when we got here. We thought it was, but it's not. But the ride quality is just superb.
Have you driven anything big before? Lorries?
No, nothing.
Car transit vans or?
Yeah, just transit vans. Plenty of those when I was younger. But
and they drive terrible, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely awful. But this was just getting in. It was so simple because obviously my brain is set up now for a Tesla. So getting into the Cybertruck, it was just a breeze. It was so simple to drive, so easy to get in, just adjust things. And so it's just little effort to actually drive the vehicle. Yeah, it just felt superb.
Now, a lot of us who have driven Cybertrucks did so with a tour guide, with someone to walk us through what to expect and all that. Did you get that?
No.
So you hopped in, having never experienced rear steering before. How was it?
That took me all of one go around a car park.
Okay.
And it was amazing, actually. The turning radius was superb. And what I particularly liked is when if you're doing a tight left turn, as we were in the car park, your back end isn't swinging into anything. So you just go nicely around it. And it's such an easy turn. Just flawless.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been the passenger in parking lots where in my head I go, we're clipping the curb. We're oh, no, right. Never mind the back end. Never mind.
Yeah.
And what about the steer-by-wire point, very limited?
The range of the steering wheel was fantastic. The only sort of slight thing I was worried about before I started was where on earth the front of the car is. So I had to get Greg to step outside and just go and stand right at the front of the car. And I can't believe how quick the front end drops off there.
There's a bumper cam.
There's a front bumper cam.
There's a front bumper cam. We will show you that.
Didn't know that.
It is. So you hit the camera button on the screen and it's right there, the front. Because when I was in Florida, I parked without awareness of the bumper cam, and I was like, this is probably fine. And I got out and there was a car length between me and the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it allowed me an opportunity to have a great conversation with some strangers when I came out, because they were standing there and I said, are you admiring my fantastic parking? And they said, no, we're looking at the truck. Oh, I'm like, all right. So that works a little better than I expected.
I did cock up at the supercharger though, because I didn't park quite close enough to the cable.
Yeah.
You have to really get back in there, don't you, to get the cable. But we've noticed that the attention that we've got is ridiculous. Like everywhere we've been, still now, even with how many Cybertrucks in the world, in the US now, 40,000 or something. But there's a lot of attention it gets. And as I was creeping up to one yesterday, having a look around with my camera, I suddenly realised there was a man inside. And he was sort of drove off in disgust that I was filming him so close to the,
Well,
it was my first.
it happens, man. It happens.
You don't get a Cybertruck, do you, to not get attention, I suppose, a little bit.
No. So, you've driven it, you've experienced it. What obstacles are you seeing for it coming to the UK? Do you believe this is too big for UK roads?
No, I don't. For the right applications. I mean, it's not going to be for my parents, for example. It's not going to be for a lot of people. But if you're a farmer, or you're a construction worker, or you're someone who does have a larger car already, or a truck, there's no reason that wouldn't be able to function perfectly well. Because the main argument we get in the UK still is it's just too big for our streets. Nonsense. We have Ford Transit vans that are long wheelbase, and they are larger than the Cybertruck, and they get around single track roads of Cornwall, everywhere in city streets and stuff. You obviously see transit vans coping just fine, and that as a Cybertruck is a more capable vehicle because of the rear steering and what you can see around you. The only obstacle is just that it's that really dangerous front end that would it's not very crumply, is it? I mean, it does crumple, but for a pedestrian being hit, that's a bit of an issue, I think, for Europe regulations, therefore the UK as well. So I'm not sure if it would ever be allowed in the UK, unless it has a front end redesign, which would.
What if they just replace the stainless on the front of the hood?
That's what I thought.
With just some
plastic.
Even plastic.
Hollow plastic with a hollow section behind it, as most of our cars now are in the UK. There's a very large crumple zone now at the front of vehicles. But my theory is it shouldn't ever hit anything. If it gets to that good, then if it gets to that, the safety capabilities become far safer at avoiding humans or anyone else.
Well, the best accident is
no accident,
and the best broken pelvis is
no broken pelvis.
See, we've got this sorted out, Elon.
Yeah.
Where's my check?
I would so love to see it in Europe. I think it's a fantastic truck, but I'm very biased, obviously.
Well, from Tesla Jigsaw might be biased. So we're breaking news here today.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who would have indeed?
Yeah.
There are F-150s in the UK.
Yeah, there's big trucks in the UK. We see them all the time. Some of them still have bull bars at the front, which I thought were illegal in the UK. But there's plenty of vehicles, obviously. If you get hit by a bus, it's going to hurt, whether it's 30 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour. The best part is no accident. The best accident is no accident. It's probably the best approach Tesla could do with Cybertrucks. Just make them avoid hitting anything.
Yes.
Yeah. Whether that would be working or not.
That's the objective, and it is a work in progress. And we've seen from the safety reports that Tesla does better than other brands at that sort of thing. I do have a question for everyone in the comments, which is, you subscribed to Tesla Jigsaw yet? Because it's free. He doesn't charge for that on YouTube.
Slowly growing, 7,500 subscribers, and I think that's partly down to people like yourself helping me out. So thank you so much, Brian.
Well, you're welcome. I appreciate the quality of your content.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I think we will see Cybertrucks in other countries.
What's that?
That is a big old dino dog.
Oh, of course.
I think, yeah. Why wouldn't you have a giant skeleton dog?
I didn't think to bring mine.
Wouldn't have fit in your carry-on. So I think we're going to see them in the UK. I think we're going to see them in a variety of countries. I think the problem with the UK market is left-hand drive versus right-hand drive.
I was saying this earlier, I would have a left-hand drive Cybertruck because, as I've witnessed today, I didn't drive it for a lot of the time. Only when I really wanted to. Most of the time, it's been the most beautiful chauffeur for us today. It's just great. My mind is blown from it. It doesn't take much to blow my tiny mind.
And 1255 may be gone by the time this video comes out.
Yeah.
Which is also a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
So guys, in the comments, what do we miss? What do we misunderstand? Leave it, I beg of you. And stay tuned, stay juicy. I cannot wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop since you're not here in St. George, Utah. Thanks, Will.
Thanks, guys.